to start our troubleshooting part, okay? And this troubleshooting we are hard coded focused on the Zscaler, okay? And I will cover in this troubleshooting most of the all things, okay? So I will suggest you to watch, okay? And if you are looking for interview, or if you are preparing for the Zscaler, or even you are using already in your company Zscaler, so this video will for you. So keep watch till end, okay? And end of this video I will give you some scenario based question answer, okay? So you can, it will help you out to crack in your interview. Thank you. Okay, so let me tell you what we are going to cover in this dedicated class, right? So we will cover 4 detail of videos, okay? So just give me a second, let me start, okay? So we will tell you how many tools you are using when you are starting your troubleshooting, right? On Zscaler perspective, what tools are required, what website you need to visit. Suppose you are looking for to test whether the user connected with the Zscaler or not, so you should visit on ip.zscaler.com, right? Or if you want to any global issue on the Zscaler data center, so you should visit trust.zscaler.com, right? If you are going for a new configuration, suppose you want to configure a IPsec tunnel, maybe new, and you want to understand what is the IP address near to your location, so you visit on that website, right? So we will cover these things in detail, so keep watch that video. So let's start at that, okay? So first we started with the Zia part, right? There's many places where problem can potentially arise, right? So first what you need to understand, guys, okay, any problem, okay? So I will tell you how you can approach, okay? Let me give you something, okay? So I'm not sure how much how you guys are aware about that or not, but I will tell you how I can troubleshoot any problem as a Zscaler L3 engineer, right? So suppose I got a ticket from the user, right? And user is saying URL is not working, right? So so first what you need to understand, don't directly jump on Zscaler, right? So there is some process, right? So the process is, first step, you need to identify the scope of the problem, right? So scope of the problem means you need to identify whether the problem is the user specific or any group based problem or department based, right? So once you customize your scope, you will get it the exact problem, right? So don't always put it on, go on the Zscaler portal and search in the logs. Sometime you haven't get it that, right? So my suggestion is, what you need to do, first you need to connect with the user, right? You can connect by Teams or whatever that medium you want to connect, right? And you can ask few question to the user, because user itself giving the answer when you ask a correct question to the user, right? So right, I see a lot of L1 L2 engineer, they are saying that L3 engineer are fixing the problem because of they have access, right? But honestly guys, believe me, 90% of the problem even resolved without changing anything in environment. So don't always think you are suppose you work on ticket and that ticket is not resolved by you, so you escalate that to L3 engineer, right? But the problem is you are not asking the correct question to the user, right? So let me deep dive first on that, how you can understand, how you can ask the correct question to the user. So first question what you need to ask is that URL, okay? So okay, let me deep dive on that. So URL is not working. In that case you can ask, is the first time you are accessing that URL, first time, okay? Or you are already, it was working and okay, let me deep dive, okay? Because when based on the user answer, your troubleshooting approach should be changed, right? Suppose user is saying, okay, this URL was working yesterday, okay, and tomorrow itself when I logged in my laptop and it is not working, okay? The next question you can ask to the user, is it the ZPA URL or ZI URL, right? So because based on the user answer, your troubleshooting should be approach should be changed, right? So suppose user is saying this is the GI URL, okay, internet URL, then you can ask the second question, you are working from home or office, right? So user is saying no, I'm working from home, right? Working from home or office, right? So based on that, you understand where is the issue, right? If user are working from home, it means URL is not working. Then maybe you need to check with the user Wi-Fi, but only in that case where user are reporting my whole internet is not working, right? Not a specific website. Okay. The second question you can ask to the user, you are the only one having issue, or your colleague or any other member also impacting with this this issue, they are not able to access that URL? Because you need to understand the scope of the problem, right? Why I'm asking the question, because I need to understand the scope of the problem, right? So okay, then user confirm that no, this problem with me only, rest of my colleague and everyone working fine, right? So then what you need to do, okay, oh my bad, where is, okay, then okay, if user is saying the problem only with me, right? So it means that if something got wrong on the Zscaler, it impact all user, not only specific user, right? So it means that it may be more into user specific issue. You see guys, based on the user answer, I change my troubleshooting approach, right? Now next, if you are saying that yesterday it was working, tomorrow morning itself it is not working, then in that case what you need to do, you can check is there any change happen from tomorrow to today in your Zscaler end, and you will identify is there any change with, take a reference of that URL which user are reporting, right? You need to validate that part. If any changes are happen, then of course the issue may be causing because of that change. If not, then again you need to go on next step. What you need to do next, you identify there is no change, okay, user is still saying that URL is not working. Then you need to identify, understand the scope of the problem is user connected with the internet, user part of Zscaler, and user only having problem, only one user, not other than that, and this was working till yesterday. The problem is only start tomorrow, today itself from morning, right? So what you need to do now, you can ask user how they can test, ask user to disable the Zscaler, right? So disable the Zscaler. This actually, this you can give in the temporary password to the user. User can put it and log out from their portal. I will show you later in the ZCC. When I connected ZCC in my laptop, I will show you how you can disable Zscaler. Okay. So when you disable Zscaler, is it now your laptop is just normal internet, right? So now what you need to do, you can ask user, could you try to hit now, and if it is working fine, it means that of course there is something got wrong with the Zscaler. Okay, if it's still not work, then of course that's not problem with the Zscaler. Most probably you ask user, then second step, sometime your ISP or home ISP having DNS problem with their ISP end, right? You can ask user for cross verification purpose, could you connect your laptop with the hotspot or Wi-Fi? Okay, if user connected with the Wi-Fi and they are facing the same problem, that means then 100% it may be something wrong on the destination side, right? Of course, same time you also validate, because as a network administrator you have a laptop, right? You try to from your laptop, if it's working, then of course it's not a destination side problem, because the single user never impact if something wrong on the destination side, ideally, right? Okay, so now what you need to do now, same time you need to validate logs on ZCC portal. Okay, so how you can validate the logs, let me show you. Okay, and I'm going to log in on the portal, guys, so just give me 1 second. Okay, now I logged in on the portal. So where you need to go on Zia and you need to identify the logs, right? So I will tell you. So Zscaler recently launched their new portal .console.zscaler.com. Okay, this is their new portal. ideally they still have an old portal, but I will suggest you guys to start using this portal, because ZIS, ZPS, ZDX, ZCC, they combine all tool together and make it the console.gscaler.com, right? So this is the dashboard, these are the tab you will get, not much tab, right? They basically customize and summarize the thing. Okay, so if you go under logs, okay, so you know you got these logs, internet SaaS logs, and then you get it the private application logs, right? So we are not dealing with the ZPA, otherwise you can go under diagnostic log. So we are more into the internet URL, looking the issue on the internet URL. So you can go under web insight, right? Under web insight, what you need to do and what you need to put, so you need to put a user filter, right? What user having problem, right? So you can put the username here and put the username. So we have, suppose, let me put random user, or I can put it like that. So in my case I will pick any one of that, but you need to pick the user who having problem, right? And then you can put select the URL, right? And guys, always select URL search. Under URL search, don't put exact match. Okay, this is I'm just pausing here to give you the clarification why I'm saying that don't select the exact match. The reason behind that is every URL have a URI and long URL. So the problem is sometime if you are putting the wrong filter on here, then it means you will not get the logs on the here, right, on the inside. So that not mean that you can go and ask user that I'm not getting logs because traffic is not reaching on the Zscaler. No, this is not the case. The case is because you are not putting correct filter on the inside, right? So don't always put the exact match, because this is very bad sentence until unless you know the exact URL, right? So instead of put the contents. Contents always give you that if any keyword match what you are putting here, it will show in the logs, right? So I'm just matching with google.com, just example, user is having problem with google.com, then you can select the time. Okay, this is the important, guys. So time should be always select a specific one, because it take a time to fetch the logs, like sometime it take 15 minutes, right? So see, try to understand, suppose you are on the user call, user on the remote session, and you are waiting, just taking the time 15 or 20 minutes to just checking the logs, which is not good, right? If user on the call, you can ask user to initiate the traffic and put the filter of 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 15 minutes is okay, right? Don't go more than that, otherwise it take a lot of time, right? Okay, so it's saying that if you exactly see, the URL still take a lot time, instead of we are putting the host, right? google.com, because this is the only host, this is not a URL. URL should be something, xyz dot google.com, something like that. So this is the domain, this is the host name. So host name always faster than the URL. So it is recommended that use the host name if you know a specific host name, otherwise go with the URL. Both are okay, but host name is little bit faster than URL. Okay, so this filter you need to put it here, and in which case when user are complaining that they are not able to access the URL, right? So you can put it here. We can wait for that because we put it the last 30-minute logs, right? So you see, guys, just I put it the filter of 30 minutes. It is taking a lot of time, right? Okay, so suppose you put it the 8 hour or 12 hour logs, it take I think 30 minutes, right? And this is not because of your Zscaler is slow. This is what Zscaler processing the traffic, right? So we can wait, right? And then I will let you know. So meanwhile I'm pausing that video because it takes time, so I cannot wait for that time. So okay. So guys, you see this is the no, I'm not sure what is that user, whether it's hold any traffic or not. Let me remove the user filter, right? Because I want to understand. I don't know, like if user are reporting, then you know the username. In my case, I'm just randomly putting any user, right? And let's see whether what logs I'm getting here. Okay, you see I put it the filter as a google.com, and I see lot of URL are there, right? So you see if user is saying that my URL is blocked, then somehow you see that not allow HTTP tunnel, or if it's allow, then of course Zscaler have not having any problem, right? So you see that you see the reason why URL is dropping. If really URL is blocking because of something blocked by policy, then you see that policy here, right? Drop due to failed client SSL certificate, right? Not allow use HTTP tunnel, right? So guys, what I need to do, so you need to understand which policies allow or blocking, right? So there's a good filter, ideally will not get, right? So you need to select here, go here under more option and put policy name, right? So you see there's a any type policy type. I think it should be name policy. Is there any filter like that? Policy, let me see, policy type, URL filter. Okay, URL filtering policy name, right? So let me see, URL filtering policy name is should be there somewhere. Okay, you see these are not hitting by the URL filtering, that's the reason we are not getting none. So this hitting the reason for policy. This is the endpoint application. Let me, okay, if you don't want to get there, or if you want to type here policy name, I want to policy action. Okay, action is fine. If you want your URL is blocking, then put action as a block. Otherwise you can put allow or whatever the method you are using, right? So in my case I put it as a block because first I need to understand and keep use always filter is basic. If you go generic filter, then it's difficult to identify the problem, right? What I'm saying is you should be put the username which having problem, you should be put the exact URL. Okay, what is the problem with the URL, then you can put the proper time frame. Okay, when user reported or even user on the call, then you can put less filter. So I put, you see I put a policy action as a block, right? So now the lot of URL is just blocked. So you see bad SSL certificate tunnel is not allowed because these are the Google chat, right? Okay, because policy is not allowing any SSL tunnel, that's why it's blocking. And it is part of okay, client handshake is fail. Okay, you see guys, if something wrong with the SSL handshake, you will get it here only. Okay, so by it's showing none means that policy is not hitting, which I'm looking that basically the request is not blocked because of the URL filtering, otherwise you will get it the policy name, right? So these are the block because of SSL inspection policy, so that's the reason. So that's why it's showing the SSL handshake failed. Most of the URL, you see that reason for policy black, all is the SSL handshake, right? That's why we are not getting URL filtering as a none. So don't worry. So you can identify in same way on a URL filtering, right? So that's one. Okay. Now guys, I'm back again and see, right now I'm not part of any Zscaler ZCC. That's why it's saying that your system not coming from any Zscaler IP, right? So let me go here. Okay. So I already told you how you can troubleshoot the problem, right? So first you need to understand, you need to identify the location of the problem, right? This is very important. If you understand whether you're working from home or office, that's one. Then you need to isolate means you need to identify the scope of the problem, whether the single user impacted, multiple user impacted, or group of user department impacted. See, based on that user answer, your troubleshooting approach always should be changed, right? Then you see the diagnostic part, right? So they follow these steps. From theory problem, design how to test the theory, right? If theory is correct, step out the cycle problem. If theory is wrong, go with the step one, right? So I will tell you that later. Okay, this is very good to prove that whether the problem with you or any other tool, right? So proxy testing, okay, Zscaler troubleshooting tool. We have a proxy testing. Proxy testing tool can be used to verify if going through Zscaler service or not, right? Performance testing, you have a ZDX, you have a speed test. Zscaler have a own speed test tool, right? So you can use that. Then you can see the admin UI. You can log in on Zscaler and you know you can check the logs, what traffic you are getting, whether it's blocked by firewall, blocked by bear tunnel, whatever reason, right? Then you can zscaler analyzer output. Okay, so you can use this guys, this tool. Okay, this is by the way old tool. Okay, so right now mostly we are using the pcap file on packet capture, and we are using zdx is more good to provide you all detail. Okay, Zscaler client connector packet capture, right? So see, you see the understand, right? Proxy testing, whether first what you need to do, understand whether traffic going by proxy or not. Then you will see performance testing. If it's a slowness issue, then you can go with the speed test and compare direct internet and with Zscaler. Then you can check the logs on the Zscaler whether the traffic is allow or block or anything happen on the Zscaler side. Then you can analyze as Zscaler analyzer output, right? Capture the page load latency. This is something you will get it on the Zscaler ZDX. I already make a video on ZDX, guys. You can watch that one. Zscaler client connector is the one which install on end user machine. So you can packet capture. I already even told you about that. How can I do the packet capture? I will put it the I will add that video here somewhere so you can watch that. Then Zscaler client connector network test. Okay, so this is guys only will get if you really work on Zscaler. Okay, so what is that? Use the Zscaler client connector network test tool, collect DNS UDP reachability, trace route, throttling, fragmentation, right? File download direct, upload that. So this is the when ZCC install on end user machine, port 9000 should be reachable to the Zscaler. Okay, directly via your tunnel 2.0 or okay, because you're already your laptop established tunnel with nearest Zscaler data center, right? So you use this URL, right, and with q query and put up the username. So this is very very good, guys, give you a lot of information. I will test you up, uh, once it completed. Then you can see the Zscaler trust. What is that? I already told you, right? If something got wrong on the Zscaler globally, right? If suppose user is belongs to India, Mumbai location, right, or Pune location, it means that maybe there is some issue on the Mumbai data center, right, which is not your problem, right? So you can visit on this trust.zscaler.com. If you go under incident, you will see what happened, whether the issue is resolved or not. You see there's one issue going on, right? What is that? Customer with the http2 header is apply url control policy maybe experience intermittent login failure. Okay, so you see I got it that if any user reporting that, it means that problem is not with you, not with your configuration. So because of Zscaler have a global problem, right? So you see that it's showing that cloudy traffic should be impacted, right? Temporary disable. Okay, so it's showing that user can disable that. Not only that, there are a lot of issues are going on. You see, customer have a two policy configuration: access miscellaneous and dynamically classified content. Okay, so you can see that they also have data protection related issues going on. Third party app governance. So you see these issues resolved. But understand, you understand is not always your problem, right? So you should visit on trust.zscaler.com. This is very very good portal, guys. It will give you not only that problem whether Zscaler have globally or not, it will also give you the how many data center all over globe of Zscaler, right? If you see in India, you see we have a 4 data centers. So let me, is it 5? Yeah, we have a 5 data center. One is New Delhi, another one is Kolkata, another one is the Hyderabad, another one is Mumbai, right? So you also look up not only in India, all over the globe, right? So this portal is quietly, people are frequently using who were working on that, right? Okay. So let me connect my laptop with ZCC, okay, and then I will tell you how the things are working. Okay guys, so let me show you. I connected my laptop with the Zscaler Client Connector, okay. So I refresh ip.zscaler.com. I'm part of Delhi data center, you see. Right now I connected, right? So also let me show you what I'm saying, how you can log out, right? So if you go here on the portal, right? So you can log out from here. Right now I logged in as an admin, that's why it's not asking the password to log out. Otherwise, as a normal user, if you're logged in or click on log out, there you get a password, right? I explained these everything in previous videos, so you should watch that. Okay, I'm not going to cover this in here. So let me back again. Okay, so troubleshooting steps related: authentication, right? Traffic forwarding, policy setting, security service, data protection, digital experience, nano log streaming, and virtual services. So let me discuss about the authentication part, right? So how many things you are getting under authentication, right? So what happened? Okay, so first you need to understand how the your SML is work, right? So SML means when you are using Microsoft ID, intra ID, right? Ideally all companies are using, okay. So when you click on Zscaler ZCC, you are putting your username. It will redirect you on the Microsoft login page where you are putting your username and password, right? So like this, you see that when you put your username, it will redirect to the SML page. On SML page, which is your Microsoft entirety, right? Your login username, password, and two-factor authentication. After that, it will authenticate and give you the SML expression identity, which you can send to the Zscaler, because Zscaler already communicate with your SML, so they already know all values. So after that, it will assign us one auth token. You can hold that auth token and then insert the authentication key. After that, it will go to the destination, which is the internet, right? So anything problem between that, sometime you are problem from your laptop to the SML, or SML, if SML is okay, then maybe the issue from between SML to the Zscaler. So you see, you need to break down that problem authentication. So you understand whether you have a problem with your login issue, you have not put a proper ID password, or your account is blocked, right? If you're getting like that, then of course you need to go with your IT team. If you have a problem with the Zscaler to SML, then all user impacted, not only you, right? So let me tell you how many things are there to fix it or cover into that. So okay, so cookies based authentication issue, what is that? When user using Zscaler proxy, okay, on standard port like 80 or 443 without Zscaler client connector agent, Zscaler uses cookies based authentication by default, right? So Zscaler always send a cookies to the Zscaler no, Zscaler cloud from the user laptop, so to authenticate. There will be various reasons why Zscaler fail to identify the user traffic, right? So first problem is the authentication based. So you need to identify first the where is the exact problem, right? So first you will see user without ZCC install can not authenticate when it going to the website on the port 80 or 443, right? Sometime what, right? Without Zscaler they cannot authenticate. They should be authenticated only by Zscaler. So location, again, user cannot authenticate when going to the website on port 443 or 80, as ZCC is not installed on user laptop, right? Because of user cannot verify themselves, right, who they are, because without without given the justification, without given the authentication, Zscaler not put, push you the proper policy on your laptop. So you first need to understand you cannot access any web-based traffic directly, okay, if ZCC not installed. So how can I isolate that problem? Let me go here, okay, and you see, okay, first user if possible to remote connect their device and verify if two specific browser cookies with the same name, right? So this is little bit guys technical detailed video, okay. So I will break down this as multiple part. I will start from authentication, then I will go on the traffic forwarding, then I will go on the ZCC, then I will go on the ZDX, right? So on this video I will cover on the authentication part, right? So you see, ask the user if possible to remotely connect it to their device and verify if two specific browser cookies using same name. It's a common, this value, right? So it means that the same cookies name one set of the domain that user access and other of Zscaler gateway domain are installed. When the Zscaler send the request through Zscaler, okay, sorry, when user send request through Zscaler, Zscaler is actually redirect that request, okay, use the 307 redirect response from Zscaler to the gateway of the endpoint, right? So gateway is your actually gateway of the where you connected of Zscaler data center, right? You will see here when you are hitting on that website, it redirect you temporarily on this gateway.zscaler2.net, right? Okay, so you need to identify, right? So first one is you cannot access website on port 443 or 80 as ZCC not installed on your laptop. Then you need to isolate that problem to see, you open two browser and compare that is that they are using same cookies or not, right? Generate the request to the install Zscaler gateway with domain cookies, so Zscaler identify the user. What is that, guys? Let me tell you. Okay, you visited purple.com and zscaler2.com. The cookies name is same on the both cookies. The value is different. Okay, so client follow the redirect and generate the request to the Zscaler gateway, right? Actually, when you are hitting on the browser, as I suppose facebook.com, right? So it actually first need to identify who you are, right? It hold the auth cookies because that's why it identify, oh, the user is Ram. I will check whether Ram is allow Facebook or not, right? So it will actually hold the auth key. You see that if you see that this flow, right? So I'm saying here, so you see if you got SML acceleration and you are trying to access the internet, so you see inside auth key inserted by Zscaler to your laptop, your browser. Me hope you understand. And also guys, let me tell you more about that. So don't worry if you are getting the specific error. Okay, so if you are authenticating user, if you're getting a specific error, so you go here and search it like that, Zscaler ZCC error code. So whatever error you are getting, you can search it here, okay, under this portal, and you see that ZCC uh, cloud connector, cloud authentication, Zscaler admin error. I need a Zscaler client connector status error, right? So if you get any error like that, you will see initially if you are getting network error, it means something wrong with your Wi-Fi or you need to connect with another network, right? Some problem with network. So you will get the error code. So if you get at something here, if you don't, if you are not sure what is the problem, so you should be visited on this URL, and there's a lot of error, right? Lot of error code which you need to identify same time what is the action you require, right? You see if you're getting authentication, it means no need to require anything on your side. If you're getting authentication error, it means that if error is persist, click more, restart Zscaler service. So you see solution also given same time. Same for captive portal detection, right? If you got a captive portal detection, you need to disable Zscaler for some time, 10 minutes. So, okay, I hope everyone know that what is the captive portal, right? If you visited on the hotel, you got one portal where you are putting your room number, phone number, then you connected with the Wi-Fi, right? So for that you require internet, or at least you can access that captive portal that is local only with your hotel room, but still ZCC not allow that, so you need to disable that, right? Captive portal error, connection error, right? So solution is also there. Okay, so I will maybe this PDF I will put it in the under document, so you can take it from there, right? Okay, so let me tell you something. Zscaler client character logs, right? So these are the important also in the troubleshooting part. This play a big role, right? ZCC client connector logs, right? So what you need to do, to go under administrator, client connector support, app supportability, okay? So you can automatically collect the log. You should be enable this setting, but some of the customers not allow, right? So what you need to do in that case, you can go on the user laptop directly, and how you can capture the logs. I already told a previous video. So just telling here, you can go here. First you need to clear your all old logs. Sometime, previously maybe you just take a old log, so sometime, get old log, then you can restart the packet capture with the default value. Okay, so like that. So guys, when you are starting the packet capture, it sometimes take a time, right? So don't think like there is some problem. It's really take time. Okay, when you are especially exporting those logs, right? So okay, and log also, error warn info debug. So keep it debug, because most of the detail you will get it in debug. Error is if any specific error is coming, then only you will get error. Warning is if something, warning level of log, then only you will get it, but detail log you will get under debug. So by default keep it selected debug, which is good for troubleshooting. So collecting log manually, how can collect, as I mentioned, right? You can log in on ZCC, and you start the packet capture, and then you will export those log on any location, and then you can ask your team to open those logs, right? So collecting the SML logs, how can you can collect the SML logs, right? SML logs is, guys, important, right? Sometime Zscaler maybe not trying to connect properly, or not trying to communicate with the intraday of Zscaler. So there's a two tool. One is a Fiddler. Fiddler is, by the way, it's a trial version and paid tool. So maybe your company is using, then only you can explore. Otherwise, you can go on the browser more and developer tool under network. So what I'm saying is I'm talking about go under inspect, right? Under inspect you see the net, this section. So if you refresh that, you see all these URL, right? So you need to identify SML one. Okay, so that's why it's highlighting here. Okay, and then you can also go under, Chrome have a own extension, the extension called SML message decoder, which is good to help you that you can collect that what SML message, header, what is the intra-ID. So it's good to understand a lot of detail. So where you can go under the extension of Google. So you can download like extension Google Chrome, and if you go here, put it SML, okay, and the name of that is SML message decoder, okay, SML, mm, or you can put it SML trace, SML, okay, you can pick this one, is okay. So it will track you. You see, you get it the exact, response, and who's the IDP. A lot of detail you will get it from there. Okay. So SML having problem in both scenarios, right? Sometimes you are not able to authenticate your ZIA, right? So sometime most of the common issues, so you maybe not authenticate your ZPA. ZIA you were able to authenticate, but ZPA having problem. So is it both scenario you have, right? So you need to understand, because you need to separate that case in both direction, right? If ZPA having problem, then of course you have different approach. If ZIA having authentication problem, then you have different approach, right? For internet URL, okay, for internet problem, so what you need to do, okay, you can get the header of trash. I mentioned that go under network tool, network, or you can install the Fiddler as well. By the way, Fiddler is a paid tool, right? Or you can log in on that login.gscaler3.net. If you look up the response to that, you will see SML response, and it will give you the blob basically, which you can decode with the SML decoder, and you can Google SML decoder, you can copy paste. Okay, what it's saying that, suppose let me try to log in on incognito mode, and I will show you what they are saying that. So let me log in internet, or I can log in admin.zscaler.net, right? So let me tell you guys, so if I put it any username, ptca 30 b35 hyphen admin at the zero trust exchange.com, exchange.com, right? So if I click here, okay, and you see when I click on this username, it redirect me on the SML portal. Okay, you see, let me inspect that. Okay, and click here, let me see. Okay, so okay, so you see, let me see, I got the SML request as well, right? So if you see dev.login.username, I put it there. Okay, then I will put it username ptcp. I have to stop this. Yeah, start again, ptcp 35 icon admin the zero trust extend.com, right? So you see, I got it lot of logs, right? So now you see that because my current SML is the Okta, right? So sorry, you will see here, right? So you see, this is my SML, right? sso.jet sl login dot SML. If you see after SML, you got a whole paragraph. Now what you need to do, you can decode this. Okay, so what you can copy here and you can Google it, SML decode. So guys, see, this is the little bit deeper part of troubleshooting. Okay, so don't worry, I maybe you will not get it, this kind of troubleshooting. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Keep subscribe our channel. We are making the same kind of videos and we are doing a really hard effort to make it these videos to possible for you and free, right? So if you like the video, please subscribe our channel, and I've uploaded the document in the troubleshooting document in the description box. You can download from that. Okay, so thank you guys, see you in next video.